Hey, how's it going out there, folks? Welcome back here to a Saturday, first day of March, 2025, 11:49 a.m. That's California time here. Latest activity on the Earthquake 3D globe shows a 1.8 up into Alaska. Let's go ahead and check out. That's actually not the last 24 hours. It looks like it dropped down by itself there. That's the last 24 hours or so on the Earthquake 3D globe of earthquakes, quite active. Let's go ahead and check out the West Coast here first. Got a little bit of movement stirring off the coast here of Los Angeles with a 2.8 earthquake. Well off the coast, well north of Los Angeles here. Looks like it's around the Santa Barbara area, San Pedro fault zone. A little bit of movement this morning. Been quiet out here across this area recently, but looks like it's starting to fill in slightly. Also getting a little clustering going on here across the San Andreas Fault, the southern segment. Nothing big happening for now. We look at the last 24 hours of 2.5 and above. Well, there's a number of them. Looks like 4 of them. 2.5 up in the Cobb Mountain area. That's the Clear Lake Volcanic Field, geothermal operations. Also another 2.7 there a couple hours later. 2.7 northeastern California. And then, of course, the most recent here north of Los Angeles. So aside from that, looks like any typical day, although a little bit more in terms of the multitudes of above 2.5. That's a little bit more than your typical average count there on any given day. Up around Seattle, a little bit of movement stirring up on the Seattle fault again this morning, a 2.3. That region has had a little bit of earthquake activity out here on the western side and also the eastern side here of that fault zone. So continuing to keep an eye on that. Has the potential to produce up around a 7.5 magnitude earthquake there underneath Seattle. The rest of the area out here showing just some minimal movement. A little creeping section down here, seeing some activity. Smaller microquake activity, though. The rest of the states out here, oil fields rocking and rolling. Also outside of the OKC area, 2-pointer. Nothing major going on across the New Madrid seismic zone. Take a look here at the last 24 hours of earthquake activity on the map. Largest going to be a 5.5 from yesterday. So far after midnight, a 5-pointer in the Philippines takes the chart. Not a whole lot of large-scale activity here in the last 24 hours. Just very common to see a number of 5s. In fact, on any given year, these are the expected magnitudes across the planet here. So 5-pointers, if you look here, in the year time period, 1,300 earthquakes in that total year span across the globe. So that's it's not uncommon to see 5-pointers out here on any given day, considering the number that we see out there in a year span. So, all right, down here across Australia and New Zealand, got a little bit of movement stirring up here. 4.1 northern Australia, a little odd earthquake out there, but things have been quite squeezed out here across this area recently. Some movement stirring up underneath North Island again with some deeper activity. Pretty quiet out here across the Papua New Guinea area eastward along that plate boundary right here. So let's see, has that even filled in throughout the week? We did have a 6-pointer in that Solomon Islands area, but still looking a little absent here of earthquake activity. So you might want to watch these seismic gap zones that may fill in here today. Either way, nothing big happening yet. New month. Definitely entering into springtime. It's going to feel like it out here in Northern California. It's supposed to be about 73 degrees today here. Yesterday, we almost hit 80. A little swarming going on off the coast of Japan. But again, really nothing of any abnormal activity to note. Got a 5-pointer out here across the Ecuador area. The Atlantic Ocean, pretty quiet. Let's go ahead and check out the Santorini area. See what's going on there across that area of Greece, where, there's been thousands of earthquakes out here across this volcano area. Volcanic arc region. Got the Santorini Volcano, Colombo, and a number of other seamounts out there. Total tally, 607 earthquakes here in the last week. That does not include the previous weeks. There were probably 12, 13,000 earthquakes have struck Nothing big happening overnight. Looks like the latest here in this area, 1.9. Quite a few 2s in there as well, but really nothing of any abnormal activity. Let's check out the recorded seismograph stations here. We'll be able to see some of the layouts. And we're going to check the center of the Santorini area for any unusual activity. And right now, that's just what it's been looking like here over the past week or so. Previous to that, this was quite elevated with a number of 4s and 5s kicking off every single day. You couldn't even see these background lines here, but the activity is still continuing. Every single one of these are indeed an earthquake, just smaller than the 2s and 3s that are showing up here on the map. So hasn't died off completely. It's still quite active out there across the Santorini area. Just something we have to continue to watch and see how it plays out. Space weather activity, well, back down into the very quiet period. I want to make sure I'm recording this time. Keep having some issues here with my wireless keyboard. Actually, it's user error, so we'll get that fixed. Pretty quiet here across the solar charts as we look here at the X-ray flux chart, way down into the C-flare category. Not a whole lot happening there. 99% chance for a C-flare. I mean, that's almost always consistent. M-flare at 25, X-flare around 5%. Those are some fairly low levels. Not really expecting much here in the coming days as we look at the visible disk here of the sun, the Earth-facing side of the sun. Got the magnetogram image here showing not a whole lot of hope for solar flare watchers. This area down here showing a little bit of complexity, but overall, I don't think it's even grown all that much since yesterday. It looks about the same compared to yesterday to today. That's 4007. But we'll keep an eye on it. Sometimes these sunspots can rapidly grow and produce some strong flares within a short amount of time period, but I don't see any hope for that one. No major roars there in the forecast. And if we look at the next 5 asteroids cruising by the planet, we'll see what's in store here. Not a whole lot of close ones. These are all fairly newly discovered ones in 2025 here. All of them, actually. But passing Earth at a considerably safe distance. Far as severe weather, I was looking at a couple model runs here from the long-range forecast. Looks like coming up here around the 15th to the 21st of March, we got some severe weather potential here. This is the accumulated supercell composite parameter showing centered right over Texas area, down in the portions of the south as well. March is probably going to be a very active severe weather month. At least the first couple, the first 2 weeks or so, third week maybe as well. This is actually going into the third week, ending on the 21st of March. So that's something to watch pretty closely. As far as near-term severe weather goes, day 4 is on the map here. 30% chance for some severe weather out there across Louisiana and the Arkansas area. That's centered here, but around that 30%, we got a 15%. So big likely maybe a tornado potential as we head into Tuesday this coming week. That is associated with a low pressure system here. I'll put this into motion to show you guys a Tuesday time period right about there. It's about Tuesday 6 p.m. Could be some overnight issues as well with severe weather, so just be on guard. Things looking a little on the crazy side there, but it's common, right? It happens a lot in the springtime, fall time. It could happen anytime, but it looks to be a rinse and repeat cycle of severe weather as we get these low pressure systems here on the west coast traveling in this area and stirring up the warmer, moist air down south, creating that severe weather. Either way, California looks to be a little wet. We'll take it. Need some more rain out here. All right, so last day before some rain comes in. I think the rain's going to be a little bit later on this evening. So I'm going to get out there and take care of some yard work real quick before the rain comes in and enjoy the last 73 degree weather day here for a little while. Looks like we're going to dip back down into some cooler temperatures. which is okay. I will not complain. As far as Hawaii goes, I think we're still on a pause. We can double check that here real quick on the Hawaiian volcano site. Are we working? There we go. So episode number 11, pause there, back on the 26th. We're probably going up. I mean, obviously we're going up, but should see an eruption here pretty soon. If you look at these little time periods in between the eruption, which is right here by the finger, there's the eruption status. It pauses, and then it goes back up on the inflation. We should be seeing an event here pretty soon, maybe another day, maybe tomorrow night. It looks like maybe we'll see a return. Could even be on the day on Monday, but it's almost being easily predictable in terms of this continual cycle of pause and eruption there across Kilauea Volcano. Man, if I had the extra time, the extra money, I'd fly out to Hawaii to be able to see this, because, like I said, it's almost predictable. And not too often are you at the front lines to see an eruption there as it begins. See some beautiful hundreds of feet high fountaining going on. That'd be kind of nice. One of these days, right? One of these days. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Have a good one. We'll see you guys back out here a little bit later on this evening for the Saturday night update. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.